Welcome to our Sound So Simple Parent Workshop online. This is a training video for parents and carers of children with speech sound difficulties made by the Aneurin Bevan Speech and Language Therapy team. It should not be copied or shared online. There are 4 videos which should take about 30 minutes for you to watch, and we suggest you watch them in order. We're going to look at how speech sounds develop and share some ideas with you that you can use with your child. But first, let's start off with a question. Who do you think can make the biggest difference to your child's speech sound development? This table shows the places a child may spend their time during a typical week. The blue represents the time they spend at home. The green would be the time they're at nursery each morning. And the tiny section of pink would be if they saw a therapist or assistant once a week. As parents and carers, you can make the biggest difference to your child's speech as you spend the most time with them and have the most opportunities. We want to make sure that you feel confident and equipped for this. So let's consider what may be happening at the moment. Your child is trying their best to talk, but maybe you don't always catch what they said. And if you guess wrongly, maybe they get frustrated about that, leaving you feeling guilty. Learning to talk with the right sounds in the right place is a complex process. Your child isn't being lazy or stubborn. They really do want to get their message across clearly the first time they say it, but it takes time to learn. At the moment, when your child speaks, they swap sounds for other sounds. So when they talk about their cake, they say it as Tate. Or you may notice that they're missing out sounds on the end of words, or maybe even on the front of words. So when they say frog, they might say it as og, and this can have a high impact on their clarity. The more sounds they swap within a word or phrase, usually the harder it is to understand them. You may find you often need to interpret what they said for other people. First of all, let's start off with a quiz. Have a think about whether you consider these statements to be true or false. Here's the first one. Speech and language are the same thing. True or false? It's false. Language refers to the vocabulary and the sentences that your child uses and understands. But by speech, we mean sounds like t, s, f. Here's the second one. Children should be able to use all of their sounds by the age of 4. True or false? It's false. Some sounds develop later, like and f. Clusters are also usually later to develop. That's 2 or 3 sounds together, such as bl in blue and str in strawberry. Here's the third one. Speech sound errors can affect literacy. Is that true or false? This can be true sometimes. Children with speech sound difficulties are at a higher risk of literacy difficulties, especially for children of 5.5 or older, as they may start to spell words the way they say them. And here's the last question. 1 in 20 young children will have some difficulty with talking. Is that true or false? This is false because it's actually higher. It's about 1 in 10 children under the age of 5 who will have some difficulty. How did you get on? Now we're going to be having a look at the communication pyramid, which you'll find in your booklet on page 4. This is a helpful way of thinking about the different areas of your child's communication skills, like blocks stacked up on top of each other. Each one needs to be securely in place to support the next block on top. At the bottom of the pyramid are the foundations of attention and listening. That includes their ability to maintain their focus on activities and also to listen to the sounds that make up words. If they can't pay attention for long, then they may not be able to notice the difference between sounds in words, especially very similar ones, like k and t, or f and s. Also at the bottom is play. This is when a child explores toys and the world around them. Above these blocks is understanding. Children first need to understand what words and sentences mean before they can use them. Resting above this is expressive or spoken language, where the child uses their vocabulary and grammar skills to build sentences. At the top of the pyramid is speech. This refers to the individual sounds that a word is made up of. For example, that the word sun is made up of s, n. And running alongside the pyramid is social interaction, which affects every level. These are the skills that we need when communicating with others. For example, turn-taking, eye contact, and showing interest in other people. We've come to the end of the first video, but now we're going to be looking in more detail at the speech sound section at the top of that pyramid, and we'll be suggesting some tips as well. Please keep watching.